Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report. And of course, you probably know by now if you have watched the situation report yesterday, massive news had happened. The Ukrainians have launched the Kursk offensive. And there will be frontline changes relating to that. And of course, there is some major news happening at the New York front. And of course, as per meant, as the Kursk offensive would do and should do on the PR wise, is definitely trying to cover up the big news of the massive collapse over on the western part of New York. And we have also frontline changes over in Klipoke, Zeleny, Nevelsky, Konstantinivka, and Mikhailsky. So we're going to go into the Kursk offensive situation. So the initial marking is this. This is the initial marking that we have when we first reported it. And since then, we have additional information coming from the Russian source, confirming that the Ukrainian forces has traveled quite a bit of distance around this salient that they have developed. So the Ukrainian forces have captured Nikolaevo Darino itself, and Sverdlikovo, Sverdlikovo. So they have also captured that. The furthest point that Ukrainian reach is just off Zeleny, Shilikiak. Wow, these Russian names are difficult. Zeleny Shilikiak. So anyway, but those troops there was destroyed. So, but anyway, that is the objective, geolocation. So we will mark the mapping all the way to that point. So the Ukrainian forces have not captured Nizhny Clean. They actually have some of the highway region over here, and then they also make this push towards Zhutkha. And the furthest point based on Russian mapping is that they're just outside of Zhutkha. There is no indication of the capture of Gogolevka or Shena. But there might be a high possibility that they are under Ukrainian control right now, and there is still fighting reported at Leshnia. So there is also some push towards the Gordievka. There's fighting reported there, but there is no frontline change over in that region. So this is the current situation. Probably I should put this into. Never mind, it's okay. So this is the current, the Belgorod offensive, the Ukrainian captures in this region here. So if you want the Russian border, I'll mark the Russian border out in case it may not be very obvious. So you can see this is the extent of the Ukrainian capture right now over in their Kursk offensive. So I will do a separate video on the coverage exclusively on the Kursk offensive. I'll publish it separately, maybe 4, 6, 8 hours from now. I'm not sure. I will see how it goes because I need to manage the airtime, because of how the YouTube works nowadays. So anyway, this is the frontline change over in the Kursk front. The Kursk front. that's so weird. So Kursk front. So we go into the next frontline change is over in New York. So major developments over in New York region. The Russian forces has been geolocated in the western part of New York, and they have raised the flag on top of this high building. I didn't take note what building is that. It's a school. Okay, school 38. And the way how they walk on the roof suggests that they have secured the entire region. The Ukrainian forces have largely withdrawn from the entire area because they look a bit too relaxed, in my opinion. So Russian forces, based on our objective mapping, is they have captured this area here. I included the entire eastern side because there's no possibility that the Ukrainian forces are there, given how the Russians are raising the flag. Russian mapping is more bullish. They have mapped it all the way to the edge of this industrial zone and the entire eastern neighborhood of New York. And they also say that there's a possibility that the Russian forces may have even captured this industrial zone. So anyway, the Russian forces basically have taken massive amount of rounds, if we are to believe everything that was said. So this is a huge capture, and this is exactly what I have been telling you guys for days, that the Russians are going to push through the western neighborhood, and they're going to go up from this area rather than going on the eastern side where the Ukrainians may be stronger. And they push up this point, and we are going to see massive strategic complications for the Ukrainians, particularly with the fighting at Nelipivka. So Russian forces are already this far, so I need to emphasize a bit why is this important. So the Russian forces have pushed this way, and the gray zone probably is this big. This is the gray zone. The Russians are going to push for Nelipivka next, definitely, for sure. And the Russians has already taken this much ground over in this Zalizny region. There might be this push causing a pincer and circling all Ukrainian forces in the New York front. So this is the New York City, New York sector of the New York front. So this is developing as how I imagine it could develop, and this is getting very concerning, and maybe this might have some relation to the why there was a Kursk offensive. But the Kursk offensive didn't drop down from the sky. It's not a suddenly, they just make a prompt decision. Okay, let's go. No, just do some PR thing. No, the Kursk offensive has been prepared for some time, and I'm not sure if the preparation has relation to the situation in New York, but definitely they have been preparing for some time. So which is why we are seeing all this shelling, shelling report and incursions from the Russian side, trying to weaken the Ukrainian preparation. So we will cover it more in the New York, in the Kursk front update. So anyway, that's the frontline change over at the New York city region. And the next frontline change is over in the Avdiivka front in the Klipoke region. So there is new updates in the this actually is Kharkiv front. I should have covered this first. Yeah, I messed up the arrangement. So at the Kharkiv front, at Klipoke, the Ukrainian mapping have acknowledged that the Russians have almost fully re-secured Klipoke, recaptured the entire area here. So Klipoke was first captured by the Russian forces on the 15th of May. However, since then, there was Ukrainian counteroffensive, and a part of Klipoke was retaken by Ukrainian forces. So the town has been contested for a long time, but based on this latest update by the Ukrainian mapping, Klipoke is now largely, if not entirely, re-secured by the Russian forces. So after Klipoke, we go to the Avdiivka front at Zalizny. So the latest update at Zalizny, where the semi-encirclement is currently happening at the Avdiivka front, in case you are lost. Avdiivka, New York is over here. So this is Zalizny. And the semi-encirclement continues to exist, with the Russian forces tightening the noose a little bit with a push over in the northeast of Zalizny. So they are starting to enter this. I'm not sure if this is a farm or this is some kind of industrial area. They're starting to push, or storage. It could be storage, because these are all farms, right? I mean, these are all plantation, which is also called farms. So maybe these are granary kind of thing. I'm not sure. So they are pushing in this direction. So the semi-encirclement exists. The Ukrainians maybe have not exited, so we do not have any withdrawal yet. But as I mentioned, there's only one way out. So it's pretty concerning, for the Ukrainian forces. So for those pro-Ukrainian guys, do note that while there might seemingly be some success over the Kursk offensive, seemingly because they're still it's still in the initial stage. My opinion is the breakthrough is not big enough, but that doesn't change the fact that the Ukrainian forces are still dying on the other front, or still losing ground on the other fronts. So don't get duped by the Ukrainian propaganda, even though I know you support Ukraine, because this was deliberate. They are stuffing the information with the curse of offensive success. But the reality is the other fronts are collapsing. So anyway, we move on. The next frontline change is over in Nevelske, also at the Avdiivka front, and there is this geolocation by Creamy Caprice, showing that Syrskyi posted a video of shelling of Russian forces within Nevelske, and this shows that the Russian forces may have recaptured Nevelske they first captured and then they lost it. They first captured it in 12 March, and then they lost it on the 4th of May, around there, or invalidated the claim of the capture. However, the geolocator Creamy Caprice, they view this video as extremely unreliable. So take it with a pinch of salt, but for me, I will just take it as a capture, and then we will invalidate it when we have other information. So Devilsky, Russian forces maybe have captured the entire thing. I will not declare the capture yet. I will not declare the recapture of Devilsky. However, the mapping does now shows that the Devilsky is largely captured. Anyway, there is still this entire bun around here. So yeah, we will have to wait for more information. The next frontline change is over at Konstantinivka. So the Battle of Konstantinivka is now being reminded to us that is still ongoing with a new geolocation and new Russian capture. The entire eastern edge of the Konstantinivka is now captured by the Russian forces. So it's just the edge, just the tip, little bit, just the tip. So hopefully the Ukrainians can accept it. The Russians are making this push around here. And there's one last frontline change is over at Mikhailsky. So in the northeast of Mikhailsky, based on Ukrainian mapping, Russian forces have taken this entire area here. So basically another three lines has been captured by the Russian forces as the Russians continue to make this push towards the Voleda-Konstantinivka highway. So in the grand scale of things, of course, it's just like this, but this is one of the vector of attack in this direction. So let's see how this goes. So anyway, that's it. These are the frontline changes report, and I will see how to manage the content. I'll try to publish exclusive Kursk offensive report. I still not sure where I should publish it, so I'm a bit confusing. But anyway, we shall see how this goes, and I'll see you guys in the next update.